Did I ever mention I used to work at a Target? I have a great love for Target, probably because I used to work at one. And every day that I went in there, I came out with 14 to 16,000 steps regularly. Sometimes I would get way more. Sometimes I would get over 20,000. But yeah, it's not every position. If you're like working at like the front, then it's unlikely you're going to get like huge steps because chances are you're probably like just sitting at a lane all day. But I was a specialized unit selling cell phones and televisions and so on and video games. Because it meant every day I could be near the Nintendo section and look at the plushies. Can you imagine? It was great because I got out of having to do the thing that Target does, where they're like, would you like to get a Target Red card? I hated trying to make people do that. I have too much anxiety. But you also learn a lot about common retail scams. I shouldn't share them with you, lest you try them yourself. But you sure learn about them. Yeah, they enforce quotes on you. Yeah, they're like, oh, they would always do something special if you got a lot. But like the reality is Target has so many returning shoppers. Most of them probably already have a red card. Or if they don't have one by now, they don't want it. Please, just one scam. Tell you about the gift card scam, because I don't think it's something you can replicate. But basically, there are these people who will come in and they'll ask to buy, usually it's like things like Apple products, like AirPods, iPads, iPhones, whatever you have. They will try to buy basically all of them, and they'll say some sort of lie like, oh, I'm shopping for like, who knows? They'll just like make some sort of weird excuse to try and justify, and then they'll pull out a ton of gift cards, like an absurd amount of gift cards, and they all have like random amounts. Like it's not like, oh, this one has they all have $500. Some of them will just be like $69.42, you know, like weird amounts that don't really make sense for someone to give you on a gift card. And they'll just have a ton of these. And the thing is, they're all hacked gift cards. They're not stolen. I mean, they are technically taken from the store and then falsely activated. So no one bought them, but I have no idea how that works. And if you get caught doing it, obviously you get in trouble because people are aware. It is torture to ring up because you basically have to, well, you're trying to help them and not lead them on to know that you know what they're doing. You have to kind of like call security effectively. But that is one of the reasons that also at stores that they just won't give you any of the things in cases. Because people really do be out here trying to steal stuff. This isn't the beach. Yeah, it is. The beach is behind me. You just can't see it. I decided it was too dark outside to go to the beach. So I'm just here chilling. But yeah. Screw cases. Who steals shampoo? I don't think shampoo should be locked up, but you'd be surprised. There's some people who are pretty brazen. They'll walk in, they'll fill a cart up completely, And then they'll either leave or they'll continue to walk around the store and then come up to like the guest help desk and be like, hi, I want to return all of this, but I don't have a receipt. But they didn't buy any of it. They just picked it up off like the, you know, and then they get in trouble. That's how you get the cops called on you. Yeah, people do some crazy stuff. Yeah, usually if someone says, I don't have a receipt, and they're doing something that seems pretty weird in general, that's how you know. Toilet paper during... We did have people who were trying to, like, get, like, all the hand sanitizer and stuff to, like, resell. One funny thing, have I ever told you guys this story? Pokémon cards. Here's a fun story. Pokémon cards are crazy. People love Pokémon cards. Not because they play Pokémon, but because they're scalping them. So, I think I told this story once. I have two stories, because both of them are funny. The new Pokémon cards came out, and some guy came by and grabbed the whole entire line of them and went to go buy them. And I looked at him and I said, you're really gonna buy all of those? He's like, what do you, huh? I think he was confused for being called out. And I was like, well, now there's not gonna be any for me to buy later. Like, I'm not allowed to buy things on my shift. So now even though I was technically here before you, I have to watch you come and take everything and leave none for me? And anyways, he still bought them all. But then he came over after the fact and gave me one of the packs he bought because I made him feel bad. And I'd already taken it, but after, because I was so confused because I was like, how do you even react in that situation? I don't know. But then my manager was like, you're not supposed to take things from guests. I was like, oh, well, it was paid for and it was given to me. I'm not gonna put it back on the floor. So it's mine now. And then there was a new drop and people were really excited. And this was like the peak. This was when limits were first. In case any of you are Pokemon scalpers, by the way, I am looking down on you, just so you know. But we had to put like limits on them because people were being insane. Like, I think it was so sad for me specifically, because obviously I know scalpers don't care, but there are kids who actually like to collect and play with Pokemon cards and look forward to the new drops, and they'd always come in and they would ask me, Ari, do you know where the Pokemon cards are? And it's the kids. This isn't the adults. These are the kids, and usually they have like, not all the time, but like you can tell their parents aren't scalping or anything like that. Like you can tell it's not like they're trying to like, what's the word, like gain sympathy or anything like that. Sorry, my dog's barking. You hear her? She's angry about something. Anyway, so it's really disappointing when you constantly have to basically tell little kids, sorry, we don't have any. And then if they're like, oh, do you know when you will? And you have to say, probably never, because a bunch of crazy adults come in and buy them all immediately. And it's really sad too. It's a really big problem because some of these scalpers are so insane that we get like really scared truck drivers who would come in and be like, these people have been following me from store to store and buying all the stock and then following me to the next one. And they'll like tailgate them too. They'll get super duper close so that they like, you know, it's crazy. Some people take this shit way too seriously. It is really disgusting. I wish I was kidding. This is behind the scenes of scalping. Anyway, sorry, back on the story of what happened. So we had enforced limits. And we said, okay, if you come in, you can only buy, I think it was three things of the new Pokemon cards each. So This guy comes in and he clearly has more. And the computer is at the point where it's stopping him from scanning more, but he's pretending to scam them, so he was gonna steal them anyway. So I went over there and I said, hey, I know you heard because we were waiting because there was a huge line for Pokemon cards. You know they're limited. You have to give me the 20 other ones you have in your cards. You can only have the 3. I kid you not. This guy was so mad. He came with friends and they immediately took a ton of boxes and went and hid them somewhere in the back. And we went and we found those and we put them up where they were supposed to be. But I was like, this is freaking futile. They're just gonna come in and grab them. And that's what that guy did. He went out with his friends and he would switch into their clothes, come back in and buy more cards. And he continuously did that until there were no more cards left. And I literally told him, I was like, do you think we're all stupid? Like, technically it's difficult because it's just Pokemon cards. It's not worth like calling the like police over or anything, but it's such loser behavior. And every time too, he acted like he was like, oh, what do you mean? I'm not that guy that you just had like 4 interactions with in different in different outfits and different clothes. Like, I was like, bro, your face is very recognizable. Like, I don't know. And not in a good way either. Like, bro, I just feel like some people are so lame. And I don't know. Like, sorry again. If you're a scalper, I have no respect for you. I have no respect for you. And unless you stop, I will never, ever respect you as a person. I just think it is the most loser behavior in the world. I hate losers. Because the only losers in the world are people who have nothing better to do with their time. Like, I get it if you're like, oh, I'm broke, it's a good way to make money. But like, are you for real? You can't find any other way to make money? There's so many options in the world. I know getting a job can be hard. I'm not saying it's easy, but you can get like any sort of job. Go back to school if you're like, I can't get a job that pays the amount of money I want. Okay. Figure something out. You know how many jobs I applied to before I got this one? So many. Imagine what a loser I'd be if I gave up and then just started scalping Pokemon cards. I'd be such a loser. I would have never gotten this job because I'd be like, I can just make money scalping Pokemon cards. I don't need to apply anywhere. I don't need to do anything productive with my life. Anyway, my point is, I really hate scalpers. I'm sure that is a sentiment shared with pretty much all the girls in this company, though. All of us don't like scalpers. If you scalp, you should probably leave. You aren't welcome here. Usually I don't say that to anyone, but you are a special exception. So either stop and get a real life, or leave, because I don't want to see you. Thank you. Now the PS5 ones were crazy too. But yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, anyway, so then one of the issues is we're not allowed to hide things or like put them in the back and wait till crazy people like that leave. So I have to be honest, I broke the rules. Because this specific guy was making me so mad. Because I was like, is there really nothing that we can do? And they're just like, no, not really. Like, yeah, we can all tell it's the same guy. Like, we have cameras. We can see him changing in the parking lot. But there's not really anything we can technically do. You can't have them blacklisted from the store. That's extremely rare. You have to cause like a lot of problems. So anyway, so I hid some of them in the back. Like, I think it was like the 5th time that he was coming in. I took the rest of them because everyone else had already picked up what they want. He was just getting what was left over. So I took it all and I hid it. And I was just like, sorry, it's all out. And he was like, it says online that you have like 20 more. And I was like, that's funny. People must have stolen some of them. I guess you should go home. Yeah. So anyway. I know that's not something I should have done. But no one was mad at me and I didn't get in trouble. So, yeah, it doesn't... I'm not usually the kind of person who gets angry or does, like, petty things like that, usually. Especially at work, because, like, sometimes people are just really stupid, you know? So, it's always good to approach situations with a little bit of kindness, because they might be having a bad day or they might just genuinely not understand something, you know? So you just kind of have to be, like, patient. But sometimes you can just tell that they're just an asshole. And that guy, I don't know where he is now. He's probably not watching VTubers. Probably still scalping weird stuff because he has nothing better to do. But I hate people like that. Oh, you know Aradia. She's always told me that I have a really scary judge of character. So usually if I like get like bad vibes, which I would often get bad vibes from her friends, mind you. But we would be like talking and I'd be like, look, I just really like, I really don't like this person. And you keep bringing them over to the house. Can you stop? Because I really dislike them. And she'd be like, you're crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. You're crazy. And then sometimes it would take a few years. You don't know. But sometimes time would pass and then it would turn out just like I had predicted, they were a scumbag. And she'd be like, whoa. Whoa. I should trust you more often when you say stuff like that. I was like, yeah? I don't know. I'm tend to be, I'm like literally 10 for 10. Because guess what? I never ever disliked her husband. And now she's happily married. All of the friends she still has, I've always liked.